Good day everyone. In this video, we'll recap our knowledge on the topic of percentage.
So ensure that you have this worksheet here up on the screen. Where you can download is on your MassCom page. So on your class page, down by the right hand side where the files tile is, percentage revision worksheet. So click on that and download that worksheet from there. So there are 2 pages to that. And so you have that as well as your pencil and your calculator. So with the calculator questions, you will be able to see the calculator symbol. Right, so question 1, complete the following sentence. 30% means 30 out of. So as we recall, percentages are always out of 100. Same thing for 1B. So 80% means 80 out of 100 because percentage is always out of 100. Same for 1C. So 7% means 7 out of 100. Okay. Question 2. Look at the diagram on the right. What percentage is shaded? We will first need to form our fraction and then convert to percentage. So as we carry that out, just recalling our knowledge on conversions between fraction to percentage. From fractions to percentage, just recalling, we'll need to multiply that by 100. And going backwards from percentage to fraction, that will be dividing by 100. Okay, now that we've recalled this knowledge over here, so just having a look at what percentage is shaded. First, we'll like to count how many boxes are there altogether, and that will be our denominator that we will write. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 boxes across, counting how many boxes downwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10 downwards. So in order to find out how many boxes there are, that will be 10 times 10. That will give you 100. So in total, there are 100 boxes in this figure here. Now, questions asking how many or percentage that is shaded. So having a look at that, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 complete rows of 10. So that makes 4 times 10, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. So that's 48 over 100. That is our fraction that is shaded. So recalling from fraction to percentage, we should be multiplying this fraction by 100. So times 100%. Carry out your cancellation on the next step. So that is 1 0 for 1 0, another 0 for another 0. Answer will be 48%. Okay, you do need to show all your workings. So remember to write out your workings at the side, if not on the line itself. So what percentage is then unshaded? So question is, do we have to actually calculate once more what the fraction is, and then after that multiplying that by 100? Or can we actually carry it out in a quicker method? So we always know that with the total amount of any percentage, that whole percentage is always 100%. So knowing that that is 100% there, subtracting how much is actually shaded, so that's 48%, will give you how much is unshaded. So doing your calculation, that is 52% as your answer. Okay, question 3. If 65% of a diagram is shaded, how much is unshaded? So applying what you know in the previous question here, if 65 is shaded, therefore 100 minus 65%, carry out your workings on the side, and that will work out to 35%. Right now, pause this video and carry out the questions 3B and 3C. Question 4, change the following fractions to percentage. We are recalling our knowledge on conversions between fractions and percentage. Fractions to percentage, we will therefore multiply by 100 over there. So with any fraction, listing your fraction out, multiply that by 100%. That is your first step. So fraction and then times 100%. Next step, carry out your cancellation. So cancelling out 4, that was 1, 4 going into 100, that is 25. Let's multiply that across. So 25 times 3 gives you 75 over 1%. Simplify that, you'll get 75%. Question 4F, same thing, writing out your fraction, 7 over 40 times 100%. Step 2, cancelling out your fractions, so 0 for 0. 2 going into 4, that gives you 2. 2 going into 10, that gives you 5. Once that is simplified, multiplying across, so 7 times 5 gives you 35 over 2 times 1 gives you 2, and that's your percent over there. You do need to convert that to a mixed fraction from there. So that will give you 17, 1 over 2%. So don't forget your units. Pause this video and carry out the rest of the questions in question 4. Question 5. Change the following percentages to decimals. So as we recall previously, first step, you need to convert your percentage into a fraction. Then after that, convert to decimal. Now, so looking at 16% for your first question. So if we recall earlier, percentage to fraction, we will have to divide by 100. So all you are just doing is that same number of your percentage going into your numerator, dividing by 100. Okay, so you express that as a fraction, or you can also express it this way. So 16 divided by 100. You can do that as well. Okay, I'll just erase that away. So dividing by 100, knowing that your decimal point is after 6. So when you divide by 100, you are actually moving to the left by 2 spaces because there are 2 zeros over here. Our answer will be 0.16. Now, next one that we'll carry out is 5H. So same thing, 92.7 over 100. Okay, flashing that out as a fraction or dividing it by 100. And then after that, with your decimal point, you move that back by 2 spaces. So therefore, our answer will be 0.927. Okay, pause this video and carry out the rest of question 5. Right, question 6 onwards are all calculator questions, so you do need your calculators with you. Now, let's practice applying our percentage to a couple of real life numbers over here. So we have 6A, 17% of 500, which is 17% over 100. So as we convert percentage to fraction, of just becomes times, and then after that with 500 as your whole number. So any whole number is always over 1. Okay, once you've set that up, you can begin cancelling your numbers from there. So 0 for 0, 0 for 0 there. Once you're done with that, that's your simplest form. Multiplying it across, so that's 17 times 5, that gives you 85 over 1 times 1 gives you 1, so simplify that further, that's 85. Because there is no units for 500, therefore we'll leave 85 as it is. Now, 6D, so 18.5% of 366 days. So converting our percent into a fraction, so 18.5 divided by 100 of again becomes multiply 366 as a whole number, that will be over 1. Once you're done with that, a couple of ways that you can go about it. You can convert the first fraction into a decimal, and then after that apply that into your calculator. You can also cancel out numerators and denominators as well. 0.185 times 366, 67.525 days. Okay, now as you recall, usually if your answers, put that into fractions rather than decimals over there. So expressing this as a fraction, that'll be 67,525 over 1,000. Okay, and then when you reduce that further, that brings it down to 67,1 over 40 days. Pause this video and complete the rest of question 6. Question 7. Increase the following by the given percentage. With anything that you increase, it's always adding on to your original percentage, which is 100. Okay, so your first step for this, let's look at 7A, $45 by 30%. This means we will have to take that original 100% plus 30%. Okay, so you can relate increase to addition. That's 130% that you're looking at. Next stage, you do need to calculate what the actual amount is. So 130% of the original amount, that is $45. Right, and the next step, expressing our percentage as a fraction. So that's 130 over 100 of becomes times and 45 as a whole number over 1. Carry out your cancellation from there. So you have 0 and 0. 5 going into 10, that gives you 2. 5 going to 45 gives you 9. And once that's all simplified, just multiplying across. So 13 times 9, 117 over 2 times 1 gives you 2. So 117 divided by 2 on your calculator, that equates to $58.50. So don't forget your units, as in your dollars over there. Pause this video and try out the rest of the questions in question 7. Okay, question 8. Decrease the following by a given percentage. So this is a calculator question. You do need your calculators for this. Question 8A. So that's $63 by 19%. So by the word decrease, we already know that we will have to subtract whatever that's asked of there. So that is a decrease of 19%. So your first step is 100% minus 19. Finding out how much the drop will be after that subtraction, 81%. Next up, 81% of the original amount, which is $63. Same as above, now converting our percentage into a fraction. So that's 81 over 100 of becoming times 63 as a whole number over 1. Okay, having a look whether is there anything to cancel out over there. So there's nothing to cancel. So therefore we'll multiply it across. So 81 times 63, 5,103 over 100. So dividing anything by 100, we're moving backwards by 2 places with our decimal. So that is 51.03. And having a look at the units, that needs to be dollars. Okay, so answer is 51.03. Pause this video and try out the rest of the questions in question 8. Question 9. These are application questions based on percentage over here. So remember to show all workings within the paper itself or in your workbook. So with the first one, 9A, Bill bought a block of land for $230,000. If the value of the land rose by 80%, find the new value. So you know that with the keyword rose, this means that we need to add by 80%. So same thing as with question 7 with increase, it is the same as price rising up. So that's 100% plus 80, because once that price rises, that will be definitely above 100%. 180%, 180% of that original amount over there. So 230,000. After that, converting your percentage into fractions. So that's 180 divided by 100 of becomes times 230,000 and putting that over 1. Next step, cancelling. So cancel out your zeros, 1 0 for another 0, another 0 for another 0. So all we just have to do is multiply across. That's 180 times 2,300. That equates to 414,000 over 1. So make sure you don't forget your units. $sign 414,000. Okay, so with your answer, the new value is 414,000. Question 9C. So the price of the new car is 30,000, and after 1 year it decreases in value by 20%. Find the new value of the car. So the new value of the car definitely has to be lesser than 100% from here. So decrease just means minus. First step, 100%, take away 20%, the amount has decreased. That will be 80%. Next step, finding out what 80% of that original amount is. Expressing percentage as a fraction, 80 over 100 of becoming times, and your whole number itself, 30,000 over there. Over 1, begin to cancel out your zeros, 1 0 for another 0, 1 0 for another 0. Once that's simplified, multiply it across. So 80 times 300, that gives you 24,000. Right, so answer would be the new value of the car is 24,000. A way to check back on your answer, we know that for a start, our original amount is 100%. If our cost is 80%, that should be lesser than 30%. So making sure that your final answer is lesser than 30,000. Pause this video and try out the rest of the other questions in question 9.